Again, my name's Jeremy Wright. I'm an IT consultant. I'm also a certified CSA evangelist, which is cybersecurity evangelist. We advocate, obviously, to try to keep you guys as much as safe as possible. We're joined today by a couple of gentlemen from the Sophos team. For those of you that are clients of ours and quite possibly customers of Sophos as well, I wanted to bring them on here to not only give you a little bit of insight as to what Sophos does, but also what's going on in the background there to help keep you guys as safe as possible after we're done training the human element of our world. So one of the things we touched on quite a bit with regards to emails and phishing attempts and whaling attempts and all those kind of things in the past. But what I want to do is talk a little bit more on what's going on now in the AI side of things, certainly when it pertains to your cybersecurity side, but also on the social media side of things as well. There's extremely sophisticated AI threats that are just evolving as we go on, and one of the biggest, like, just mind-shattering numbers. If you go back since ChatGPT came out on the market, which would have been in 2022. The rise of phishing and whaling attempts have increased by 1,257% over any other time prior to 2022. So that's pretty current numbers between 2022 up to 2025. The increase is staggering. And it's only going to continue. I mean, we know that, we understand that, but how can we try to make you guys as safe as possible? So the advances in technology have made AI more powerful by using large learning machine learning, and certainly the type of learning that goes on from AI. The more information you give to it, the more analytics it has to be able to create something more realistic. Certainly in the world of AI impersonation, if you look at the way people used to look in an AI generated scenario, they looked not quite real, not quite right in the past. Now it's getting harder and harder to be able to see exactly what is AI, what isn't. And so therefore they're deceiving victims into trusting false identities. Voice phishing is something that's on the rise that we're hearing more and more about. Ask for a family password every single time. Anytime you're doing these kind of things, set these things up with your family, with your office, ask for an office password to verify that the person on the other end of the line is who they say they are. These are things that we're going to have to start doing more and more of, because right now it's just, I know it's not being done in most households and offices where there is a standard password that maybe revolves a little bit, right? So change it up, once a month if it's in a business, that kind of thing, especially if you're in HR or accounting in your office. Those are the most vulnerable areas right now, simply because of the fact that that's where they can start stealing money or detour transfer funds that are being sent out to payroll. Those are things that they're attacking the most. So definitely want to look at that. Ransomware, because of this, is on the rise. So these are just some nice little pictures of what ransomware can look like. What it'll look like as far as your files starting to be encrypted. You'll start to see the name convention change on the file itself after the particular file name. So where it might be a JPEG, you will see DXXD or something along that line. That is showing that those are now encrypted and no longer accessible by you. And they are now in the hands of whoever is hacking the situation. Just another couple of examples here as to what that looks like. If you see this pop up, definitely don't panic. Make sure that you reach out to your IT team or somebody that you trust in IT if it's at home and let them know that something has happened. Do not pay anything Don't give them any money, because I promise you, the moment you give them money, now they've got even more leverage on you, and they'll continue to come back more and more and more. So please contact authorities, make sure people are aware of what's going on, report it to your IT department or your IT provider like ourselves to let them know that this has happened. We'll go into more detail on Sophos a little bit later on in the presentation, but just know that there is a lot of information here that we're going to provide to you to make you guys feel a little bit better about all the scary stuff that's going on out there right now. Stack attacks are certainly something. Real-time monitoring, continuous monitoring is what Sophos is doing in the background. And again, I'll let our team handle that for you. Um, Social media and personal information. This is something that is going on, and you know, you've probably heard a term from a whaling side of things. That's where they are extremely focused on figuring out how to get to C-level individuals of a company or a corporation. What can they do to manipulate them? How can they find information on them that's going to make them as the attacker sound relevant, first of all, but also credible? So one of the things that they do is they gather all this information off of your social media accounts, and they'll go through everything. And when we talk about everything, we mean LinkedIn, uh, TikTok, whatever you've got out there that's broadcasting out on a social media platform, they're going to look into it. They're going to try to gather information like children's names, birth dates, anniversaries, pets' names. All those kind of things are things that they're looking at right now to try and gain more information on that individual. And maybe you're somebody in HR and they're going to do the same thing on that side to try to gain information. Maybe you're somebody who is a small business owner and you're at home and you're working from home. They're going to look up all this stuff. You went on a trip, they saw all the posts. You put a picture up there of your house, your backyard. You have pictures of your kids. They'll take those, they'll manipulate them, they'll make them look like, hey, we got pictures of your family. And if you don't pay up, well, we're going to compromise them. Again, please don't pay them a cent. I mentioned about the amount of attacks that are going on. They're up 1,250% since 2020. That actually, that's a misprint on my side. My apologies. That's 2022 and should say 2022 on there. So what can we do to help ourselves? Limit personal information. Never post this information in public. So think about billboards. If you're willing to post something up on a major intersection in whatever city you live in, so that every single individual who drives by that over the next year is looking at it, and you're fine with that, then go ahead and post it. If you're not fine with that, then double think as to whether or not you should actually be posting those kind of things. Ensure you've got proper privacy settings enabled on your Facebook, LinkedIn, all the other ones, TikTok, Pinterest, all those kind of things. Use multi-factor authentication whenever possible. Use an authenticator app. So really good ones like Google's got a free one. Definitely use those. Ensure you're using strong passwords or pass phrases. We'd rather see you doing pass phrases now as opposed to just passwords. Use special characters, of course, capital letters, lowercase letters, letters that don't even look like letters. If you got, you know, maybe you're bilingual or trilingual, maybe use a little bit of your second and third languages in your passphrase. Okay, these are all things that'll help keep you as safe as possible. But the biggest thing, definitely look into your privacy settings and see what you're sharing. Make sure you're not sharing things like your calendar events. Those are things that they will definitely be trying to get. Watch Pleasant Green and Jim Browning on YouTube. So these are a couple of guys. Take down their names, watch what they do on YouTube. It's free to watch. And I promise you, there is a lot of tremendous information there that they have that they can give you. And you can hear the scripting in the background. You can see how the scams work. These are what are called scam baiters. and they're definitely on our side working for good, and are trying to make our world a little safer by doing that. So AI data, what are they farming, right? So they're collecting all sorts of information when it comes from social media platforms. So if you notice, when you're searching something, say you Googled something, did a Google search on something for Christmas, now all of a sudden you're seeing ads. So that information is being farmed by your cookies and so on and so forth. But moreover, that's being sent out to all of these different platforms so that they know what they can go after, right? So that same information can also be on the black market. So now people who are in the black market side of things now have full access to this stuff. And with it being $1 trillion industry, I promise you, they are trying to buy this information as much as they possibly can. So you can see this is just kind of a little bit of a table view here just to give you an idea as to the level of breach that can go on and the level of information that they can pull from all these different companies. We've heard about breaches with all these major platforms at some point, shape, and form. So it's best to try to limit the amount of information that you're putting out there to give them what they need. Okay. Use data brokers. Are big time out there. Use companies like Incogni is an example, and I'm not endorsing them in any way, shape, or form as an employee of Attache Group. That is completely up to you to look them up, research them, find the best one for you. But that is one that I can tell you that I personally use that is constantly searching and trying to remove my information from all of these different data brokers so that it limits the amount of information that's actually out there to be compromisable. Okay. So definitely do what you can, but this is just kind of giving you more and more examples as the type of information that these companies can grab. So major platforms like Meta, YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest, X, LinkedIn likely use data from generative AI technology, right? So they're now using AI to generate more information that they have on you to try to send you down rabbit holes or to send you into areas that they think that from a marketing standpoint, they're going to be able to manipulate you more, be able to show you ads that are pertinent to your lifestyle and what's going on in your world. Maybe you're looking to buy a car or you're buying this and that and the other thing. They're going to try to gear their media presentations that are coming through those sources as best as they can by using these types of technologies. So again, AI is not just being used from a training standpoint or maybe to help craft your emails or to create content for your websites or anything like that. It's also being used in these types of ways to be able to gain more information on individuals so that they can gain a foothold on whatever it is that you're trying to look into. Okay. Social media and personal information, again, talking about this ad nauseum, but certainly try to limit as much as you possibly can when it comes to these kind of sites. If you are going away and you want to post, things on there, do yourself a favor, wait till you come back, then post it. Send it out to people that you know and trust directly if you want to share it with family and friends. But don't post it on Facebook or on Instagram or anything like that until you're back. Because one of the things that London Police, OPP, RCMP are all warning people about is these individuals might be local that are looking at your Facebook. So maybe they're on your group account for your area. So, you live in Westmount, maybe in London. So there's a Westmount group and you are on another group. You're on maybe a committee with another organization that has a lot of people in there. And it's hard to keep track of all these people that want to be a part of those groups. So if they're let in and they're now watching, well, now they have a foothold. Now they know that you're away and they can go and steal whatever they want from your house or vandalize property or whatever, steal a car that's maybe sitting somewhere. So those are all things that you want to try to maintain sorry, not maintain, but you want to mitigate the amount of things that you're sending out there. So in turn, we're mitigating the amount of damage that can happen to you. Um, this is a great little website that I've stopped on here. If you want to check out your email address to see if it's possible that your email address is attached to other websites or other search engines, or what it can also do is check and see if, say, you're part of a points organization like Giant Tiger or PC MasterCard, you have that, and you have PC Optimum points and those kind of things. Have they been compromised in any way, shape, or form? So subsequently, possibly your email address and password might have been compromised as well. So good place to check, see if it has. Doesn't mean that you are compromised. All it simply means is that there is a possibility of it. And so therefore, it's probably a really good idea that you change your passwords. Okay. And again, using passphrases is something that we highly recommend as opposed to just a standard password. Best practices, secure your password management. So you can use companies. There's like 1Password out of St. Thomas, for instance. They're a really good password generator. So they'll not only generate it, but they can also lock it away for you, right? If you've got a device that you're on at work, get into the habit of locking your device when unattended. Right. So if somebody walks in like a courier or something like that, or somebody pretending to be a courier doesn't have easy access to your computer, protect your confidential documents. Never leave any sensitive printouts exposed, especially if you're in a meeting and you're using cameras. Maybe it's an open meeting, an open forum or something, and somebody could, zoom in on what it is. Maybe they did a screenshot and they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. With the high megapixel cameras that are in all of our devices now, it makes it very, very easy for them to be able to digitally enhance something and be able to get some information of what's sitting behind you. Okay. Verify unfamiliar individuals. So when somebody comes into your office, please make sure that you double check. Don't just take them at their word that they're there to go and fix something in the back. We have some awesome clients that are manufacturers here. Maybe somebody comes into your front desk and they go, oh yeah, I'm here to fix the CNC machine out the back there. My name's Bob. And he shows you a supposed credential. Go in the back. If you're not expecting that to happen, don't let that person go into the back. Make sure that you have them walked to the back. Make sure you have that verified that they are even there to fix that particular device, right? If you need a security badge, make sure that you handed that security badge to them if you're in charge with them. Make sure that they've written their name down and that you have both the security badge number and that person's name on there so that you can verify that, yes, unequivocally, that is the person that I want walking into my business and is able to walk around. And again, if they're not somebody that you know very well, have them accompanied throughout their whole visit. Don't just let them walk around. One other thing here, just want to touch on briefly here with regards to traveling and working remotely. Just some best practices on that. Probably want to use some heightened awareness. Some of the new features that are in some of the new laptops that are out there now will enable you the ability to be able to um, blur your screen if somebody is looking in on what it is that you're doing. So you may have that capability built into your machine. You want to check into the different functionalities and certainly the different security features that all the different laptops that are out there do offer. But there are other ways that you can go about doing those kind of things. Slide over your camera so that you're not able to be seen. Maybe if you're working remotely, you don't want anybody to know exactly where you are at that time. So, slide over or blur your screen when you're on Teams or on Zoom so that they can't see what's going on in the background there and they can't be able to pinpoint where you are. Make sure that if you are accessing Wi-Fi, that's a general Wi-Fi at a hotel or something along that line, that you're being very cautious as to any kind of information that you're doing. Don't do online banking through their Wi-Fi. Do it through your phone, through the cellular data. Okay, those kind of things. There was some issues with regards to plugging into airport adapters to be able to charge your phones, and that there were devices that were plugged into those that were able to steal your information. Just make sure it doesn't look strange or looks like it's been tampered with before you plug in. So, just be cognizant of that. Keep devices secure and in your site at all times. This is extremely important. Don't just set down a cell phone, walk away from it while it's charging, especially in a airport situation. You never know who's there and what they're there to do. If you're in a cafe or something, again, don't leave a device sitting freely out there that somebody could just take and do whatever they want with it. So just again, just try to be as diligent as possible when it comes to any of your best practices. Raising a red flag. So biggest thing is don't wait. Okay. Use a mentality of guilty until proven innocent approach to any kind of suspected threats that you have going on in your world. If you think that something's happened, none of us are here to condemn you. We are here to help keep you as safe as possible and mitigate the amount of damage that could have been done. So please reach out to your IT team, reach out to somebody that you trust, reach out to the proper authorities if it's at home. Make sure you make the proper reports to your bank, your credit card companies, anything that you think might have been compromised. Make sure you get in touch with those personnel to make them aware of what's happened. Maybe even reach out and check your credit scores to make sure that nothing has been applied for in your name recently. Okay, those are all very good things to do to ensure that you are actually not compromised, especially if you think you are in any way, shape, or form. Never give out credentials, no matter what happens, whether it's at work or anything. Don't give out your credentials just willy-nilly. Okay. If something's asking for your credentials and they're asking for it just totally out of the blue, reach out to your IT team, reach out again to somebody that you trust from an IT standpoint. If it's at home, make sure that somebody double checks this for you to confirm that it is legitimate. Okay. If you know you're coming up on the end of maybe a subscription or something along that line, definitely, double check it with the website itself. Go onto that particular website, streaming platform, whatever it is, and make sure that it is legitimate and that it's not something that is somebody trying to harvest your credentials. One other quick thing, just while I'm thinking about it, one of the biggest things that we're seeing right now when it comes to payloads being released through email and through phishing attempts, the unsubscribe button is where they're putting a lot of these. It'll look legit on a lot of different levels, but it's actually the link that's on the unsubscribe is where they're putting the payload. So just if you want to get rid of it, just block it and delete it. That's your best way to go right now. Don't click on unsubscribe at this time right now anyway. Contacting Attache Group, you know how to get a hold of us. It's our phone number, 519-652-6898, extension 1. So as soon as you call in, please press 1 and you'll get one of our team members. If it is a phishing attempt and you need that email, or you want to verify whether it is a phishing attempt because you may need that email, send it to our team at support@attachegroup.com, have them review it, and they'll send it back and let you know whether it's legit or not. If it is legit, you can continue on with life. If it's not, thank you so much for keeping yourselves and your company safe. Okay. But definitely forward those on to us. Spam emails, please don't send us spam emails. Just delete them, send them on their way. But if it's an email that you think you need or you're concerned that you've been compromised, then 100% send that to us. Okay. So just navigating today's threats, I know it's difficult, but just recognize harmful content. So stay skeptical at all times. Use secure connections and remain vigilant and when you're traveling or working outside of trusted environments. And definitely protect your personal data. limit exposure by personal data on social media to safeguard your privacy and reduce risk. Okay. So just some final thoughts from my standpoint. We're here to try to keep you guys as safe as possible. Remember, using strong passwords, screen locks, security updates, multi-factor authentication will all help, but the human element is the biggest thing. Scrutinize everything. Okay. I said earlier on, take a guilty until proven innocent approach to everything. Okay. Ensure that all important data is stored on the network. Information on your computer could be lost at any time. So please make sure that you are backing it up. If you're with us, we have multiple solutions that we put in place. It may already be in place with you right now, but it is a conversation we're always willing to have with you to make sure that you are keeping your proper data backed up, and that it is done in such a way that nobody can compromise it. Always use common sense when it comes to any of this stuff. If you're not expecting a delivery from UPS, don't click on the link. Okay. Those are definitely ones that we see out there. With Christmas coming right now, I wanted to make sure that that was front and foremost on your mind. So I want to thank you very much from my standpoint for you guys for attending all three sessions. And now it's my pleasure to be able to have our team from Sophos. We've got Prod and Dave. I'm just going to stop presenting my stuff here, who are going to do their side of the presentation, kind of showing a little bit of what Sophos does in the background to keep you guys as safe as possible. So guys, thanks again so much for joining us today, and please go ahead.
Well, thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, nice to virtually connect with everybody. Thanks for your time. I'm the field rep for Ontario here at Sophos, with me as well as my dedicated sales engineer. So, Prad.
Yep. Thanks, Dave, and thanks, Jeremy. That was a pretty insightful presentation, and I have a few things. What happens after the fact? So I'm going to talk about the threat landscape and the advisory services. But just for you guys, a little bit of introduction. My name is Brad. I'm one of the mid-market sales engineers. I'm part of the Sophos team here. Dave and myself, we are both local. So he's based out of Mississauga, I'm based out of Guelph in Ontario, and Attache being our strategic partner. We have a lot of events and a lot of discussions that happen from the cybersecurity perspective. So the focus on today will be the threat landscape, advisory services from the proactive side, and then reactive side, MDR. That is managed detection and response. So we'll go through some of these items, and then there is an MDR attack simulation. I hope the sound plays well. And then one of the recent offerings from Sophos side, so our ITDR product that we acquired through our Secure Roots acquisition. It's the identity threat detection and response. It is especially for companies that use Microsoft Entra ID for their identity checks. All right, so moving ahead, here are the types of attacks that have happened on the organizations, and this data is coming from the Sophos State of Cybersecurity Report 2023, 2024, 2025. Ransomware leading the chart with a downward trend, and then network breach was the next with an upward trend, and then data extortion, data exfil, and coin miner attacks, web shell. So these are the types of attacks that we have seen. And then the root causes for these attacks, why they have happened. So exploit vulnerabilities. I'm pretty sure you would hear for people who have subscribed to cybersecurity newsletters, they would see vulnerabilities going on firewall vendors and a lot of major vendors being impacted, all of their public side, SSL VPN portals being impacted by, um, you know, the vulnerabilities that are going on, and then credential compromise. So we do see an ascending trend with the credential compromises. So these are your user credentials, as Jeremy was focusing on. that phishing email that comes in through your email security system, and it might be a freshly crafted phishing email. The user clicks on that phishing link, and then a fake domain opens up. Instead of Microsoft Online, the O has been replaced with a zero, and then user enters the Microsoft username and password, and then it doesn't go anywhere. So that's 99% of times you have your credentials compromised. So maybe the attacker will use it sooner. Maybe the attacker will use it slightly later. What about the security policies that you have established in your organization around that? So definitely there are some factors which need to be kept in mind. So I'll talk more from the how to safeguard from those and the products that we offer, but definitely brute force attacks there, supply chain compromise. We have all talked or seen in the news the Salesforce drift compromise that happened recently. So it was just another, I would say, API connection to the Salesforce, and whichever vendor was using the Salesforce drift, got impacted by that attack. So, and then how these attacks are happening. So we talked about the whys, we talked about now we talk about the how. So external remote services, usually that requires the valid account. Sometimes vulnerabilities are involved there. Multi-factor authentication can make this go away. It's also not 100% foolproof way, but we have seen, at least by our customers who have implemented multi-factor authentication, it definitely brings them to a higher level of cybersecurity as compared to customers who have not enabled MFA or multi-factor. 18% of them are exposed to RDP. So these are your living off the land binary attacks where attackers used legit apps on your Microsoft platform like RDP or remote desktop web to, these are to get inside the system and then move laterally inside the network. And then 13% exposure on the internal services, so your Active Directory, SQL management interfaces. Citrix Bleed was one of the um, attacks that we had seen, I guess, back in 2023, 2024. So drive-by comparisons, your phishing emails, all of these are prone to these. This is the average or the mean dwell time for a non-ransomware based attack. So it's on an average 12 days, if I can recall past year. For ransomware incidents, approximately it's going to take 5.5 days for the attacker to completely control your inside system. The attack usually will start with a reconnaissance where, as Jeremy mentioned, the attacker will go after your LinkedIn's, your whatever information, your public facing website, the info that's available, how many employees, who is in the leadership team, what tools or solutions you guys are using, what vulnerabilities can be exploited there, and then all the way, weaponization, and then the final place where Jeremy showed the screenshot when the user sees the files being encrypted by ransomware. That happens after 5.5 days. So that's an average time. And I was talking about the living off the land attacks. So these are what Sophos has seen with most of their customers. So RDP ranks one. It has been ranking one from past few years. PowerShell is the second one. This is a legit app that all the IT admins use across the board to push changes or updates on their Microsoft systems. And it's also one of the legitimate IT tools that attackers use to exploit the systems, running scripts, maybe disabling tamper protection, or let's say tamper protection is disabled, maybe disabling the endpoint protection or the EDR from the system itself or the endpoint to have that entry point into the system, and then they move laterally into the system, maybe using RDP, or there are a lot of other tools like TeamViewer and a lot of third party, but these are Run DLL32. These are Microsoft based tools, and then Notepad, PS exec. So, who am I? This is the ranking for LOL. These are called LOL bins. I think Jeremy mentioned a lot of good practices to make it easier. I've put it in the form of haiku. It's a Japanese practice to commonly prevent mistakes. So it seems obvious, but closing exposed RDB ports, using multi-factor authentication, and patching vulnerable servers of firewalls. By doing this, you are safeguarding, I would say, 70-80% of your environment. And then remaining practices can be on top of this or addition to this. But at least you will be, and you would be surprised that by doing this within the Canadian market or the GTA or the London area, you are already, I think, ahead of 50% of the customers that are, or the companies that are within your same maybe employee size or same domain. So lack of MFA leaves doors open to adversaries. So we have seen 50% or 56% of the incident that have happened through MFA. We've all seen the attack on some of the counties and municipalities. I won't name them, but MFA was not enabled, and the cyber insurance company rejected their claim saying, or the cyber insurance claim saying MFA is not enabled, so we are not going to pay you money. So then all that tax dollars for that municipality, it comes from the taxpayers' pockets. So these are some of the real life incidents, and these are the attack types revisited. Once you have a service like a managed detection and response, and Sophos and Attache Group have customers today on our MDR service, and this picture changes dramatically. So ransomware, because we have ransomware protection, so ransomware detection, and not only detection, but Sophos also supports ransomware rollback. So the slide that Jeremy showed, we are able to roll back ransomware attacks, or so we make volume shadow copies of the files on the endpoints, and if we see that some file is getting encrypted, we delete that file, we restore the encrypted file, or not the encrypted, the original file from the volume shadow copy, and then the user can keep continuous work going on the endpoint. So these are some of the things that technology is called CryptoGuard on the endpoint, and there are other things like data exfil control. So we have DLP on the endpoint, and then from the data extortion side, there can bring a lot of changes. So talking from the advisory service side, we do have a team or a group of people, and it's 60 plus dedicated testers. And we got this from our acquisition of SecureWorks, the company that we acquired back in January. And we have made a lot of synergies, and we have an open platform, and we have implemented a lot of things with that open platform. So this team has won so many accolades, and you would see DEF CON. You might have heard about the wireless hacking concept contest, and then there is the GR-Con, the car hacking contest. So they've won this contest so many times. Now they are banned from participating, and now they are part of the organizers that support and create the labs for this. So we have testers from law enforcement, military, SANS authors, developers, OT experts, manufacturing, and there is a team of dedicated security analysts and threat researchers that perform those advisory services. So from the offensive security services, this is the wide portfolio that Sophos offers as of today. So there's vulnerability testing, pen testing, app security testing and then some adversary exercises. We have collaborative effort that combines the offensive tactics of red team and defensive skills of blue team. They work together to simulate real time cyber attacks, identify vulnerabilities, and improve organization security posture. Going inside the external, internal. So all of these are offered. I won't go much deep inside, but this is just for everyone of you to know that Sophos also has advisory services. We do perform pen testing, and then we come up with a report. You will have a report that will have an executive summary, detailed findings, the method, the recommendations, and you get 90-day retest window. So if you fix something in 90 days, we'll run a free retest of those pen tests. There is no extra charge for that. So that's from the proactive side. Now let's talk about how do we prevent or block ransomware. So managed detection and response services, and it's not just ransomware. There could be 100 different types of attacks that we can block. So I'll go inside that. Sophos has 35,000 customers globally. Out of those, and these are typical MDR or managed detection and response customers that have benefited from our threat research, benefited from our investigations that we complete daily, and we stop 231 advanced attacks every single day. These are not false positives. These are true positive attacks that we stop every single day. We process 223 terabytes of telemetry, and then that boils down to almost 1,000 plus MDR investigations, and then, as I said, 200 plus attacks logged every single day. So we use prevention first approach. 99.9% of the attacks are blocked by Sophos from the get-go, and then the remaining ones, we have humans who perform the threat analysis, and we have a team of security analysts who are working 24/7. So we follow the Sun model. To get to that level, we are an open platform. So we not only ingest the logs and the alerts on the endpoints and servers, but we are also being an open platform. Let's say you have different vendor firewalls, you have network devices from third-party vendors, you have cloud vendors, AWS, Amazon, GCP, Azure, you have backup from Veeam, Rubrik, Acronis. We ingest alerts or events into our Sophos data lake from all those third party. And then everything is parsed, normalized, and then it's sent to our 24/7 managed detection and response team for further analysis. And then we can perform the blocking there. So from the attack block perspective, as I said, 99.9% of the threats are blocked automatically by Sophos. This is proven by Gartner, and this is the average threat response time. So 38 minutes, that's the average response time for an attack to get identified and remediated by Sophos. This is an average time. A lot of times I've seen we are able to act on that alert within a minute. Sometimes for state-sponsored cybersecurity attacks, that timer might be a little higher. You would see some familiar vendors there. The best thing is December onwards, Sophos used to charge, before December, Sophos used to charge, uh, you know, all these third-party integrations based on the buckets, like the network bucket, the email bucket. From December 8th onwards, all of these integrations are free of charge. So doesn't matter what firewalls you have, you can have Cisco, Palo, Fortinet. We can ingest logs in Sophos XDR data lake from there, along with the logs coming in from endpoint and servers. And then we perform, we get all that telemetry, and that builds, or in the form of detections, all the detections go inside the XDR data lake, and then cases are built based on that, and then response actions are performed based on that. So I do have a quick video I'll quickly play that, and my colleague has recorded this. So let's see. This is an attack simulation.
Hey, Prod, there's no audio on that. Are you sharing the audio as well?
Okay, 1 second. Let me try to share the audio, or maybe I'll do a quick talk through as well. 1 second. Let me see if I can share the audio quickly. Yeah, if there is no audio, I'll do a quick talk through. So let me start that again. I'll pause the audio. Sorry for that. All right, so this is our MDR platform, and we offer a single pane of glass management. That means all the products can be managed through the same dashboard. And we meet, as I said, we don't expect our customers to rip and replace what they have in their network. So we can ingest telemetry from everywhere. And then we offer this account health check summary. Dave and myself, we often go through health checks with our customers. So in these settings, if you go on the MDR settings, you will see there is a place for authorized contacts. This will be your primary and secondary contact. And then we offer the threat response mode, which can be collaborate, where we work with your internal SOC team, or there's an authorized mode where you let Sophos team perform response actions on your behalf. 80% of the customers use authorized mode. And then we go in the threat analysis center, and these are the Sophos marketplace integrations. So we have integrations for firewalls, emails, network side, backup side. And let's talk about the XDR. So XDR is the extended detection and response. This is mostly used on something on top of your endpoint protection, where we are ingesting logs not only from the endpoint, but from different tools like maybe email. So here is an email that a user has received. It's So the user is going to click on the link. This is the same example that I was talking about. The user, there is a website or a domain that opened, and the user entered the username and password, and nothing happens there. But in reality, it was a fake domain, and Sophos was able to block it because we, on the endpoint side, we are able to ingest what is coming from the endpoint and from the email. So our threat analyst is a team of 500 plus threat researchers that work 24/7, and it's part of the Sophos labs, and they look at all of these attacks 24/7. And for attacks like these, you will see a case being created. So for example, the first one, SAS M365 inbox. So you will see a case summary for the case that is being created. So this info, where did it come from? It came from your Microsoft pack. So you might have business standard, business premium, or E3 or E5. So you will see those detections coming in from your Microsoft pack, along with the telemetry coming in from your endpoint. And all of these detections build a case. So you will see a case, the MDR analyst team working with you, specifying like this is the analysis, these are the actions taken, these are the recommendations. So we are from the Sophos side, we are able to, let's say if it's a user that has been compromised because that user entered the credentials, we are able to perform response actions on the Microsoft tenant as well. That means going inside your M365 tenant and blocking or disabling that user. We can revoke sessions, we can force password reset. So in this example, you will see we have put suggested actions, but in reality, we will perform those response actions. So we can ingest telemetry from different sources, Sophos and third party. We can detect, investigate, provide real-time customer updates, and full details about the actions taken. And everything is happening within that average 38 minutes time frame. So you get all the guidance and next steps or the root cause analysis after. So that was a quick video, and this is the final slide before I pass it back to you, Jeremy. But this is one of our recent offerings, which is identity threat detection and response, where it's an add-on that is available for, it does dark web monitoring for your leaked credentials, and then MDR team can also lock those user accounts that are found on the dark web, or we can terminate active user sessions or compromise accounts. So that's pretty much it from my side. Passing it back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Prad. That's some great information there, and certainly thanks to your team at Sophos there for keeping us safe. One thing to note, it's over 500. Is it close to 600 now, Prad, for the SOC team, Security
Yeah.
Operations Center? So it's approaching 600 individuals that are sitting in the background 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that are monitoring and watching what's going on and investigating if there is anything that is a flag has been raised in one way, shape, or form. So that's awesome, and certainly from the what we will be doing in 2026 with all C-level individuals of your organizations and companies is having more detailed conversations around some of the other tools that are available to us from Sophos, and how that looks, and what we can do to help, again, expand upon different ways of being able to keep you guys safe. So now, without further ado, did you guys manage to scrape something up, Dave?
We did not, but we definitely can. So we can
Okay.
throw in a few Yeti bottles for you guys for sure.
Few being 3.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to spin the wheel 3 times for that. So first spin. So the first one, I'm just going to write this down. First bottle is going to Sabrina M. So we'll get in touch with you, Sabrina, and we'll figure out how we're going to get that to you. And
Hey
so that
Jeremy,
was.
if you're spinning and sharing, I think Prad's still the one sharing his screen.
Oh, Brad, can you
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Just
I've
want to
stopped
make sure
sharing.
we do this the
Yeah.
fair way.
Exactly. Can everybody see there?
Yep,
Can
we
everybody
can
see
see
that?
it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and next spin for another bottle. Whoa, whoa. Tyler O gets a bottle. I wish you guys could hear the cheers and everything that's going on in the background. So awesome. Okay, and next spin. This is the last one for the bottle. Brad Thompson. All right, and the grand prize of $100 given up by Attache Group. This is for the $100. Somebody is going to have a good Christmas. Julia P. won the $100. And my pen just ran out on me. But don't worry, Julia. We got you covered. So again, guys, thank you so much for your time over these past few weeks. Joining us on this. It is extremely important information. Again, I will be sharing this on our YouTube channel. I'll send a link for that, but you could just go Attache Group on YouTube and you'll find them up there. Please stay safe. Have a wonderful holiday season, everybody. And we look forward to seeing and chatting with you guys in the near future. There will be more Lunch and Learns coming up in 2026. So take care, everyone, and thanks again.